Hi everybody, welcome. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your support and loyalty. Okay guys, I had a very nice person reworking my intro music for me and somebody else doing the graphics for me. But I'll tell you all of that during the course of the week. But guess what? Old Dragon Man with his AI artistic skills is so sick today on his 15th birthday that we had to stay home. Maybe for the best anyway, because it is again 38 to 40 degrees Celsius and it is hellish to be outside. If Dragon Man is not better by tomorrow, then I'm afraid it is back to the doctor we go. He says his foot feels better, but it does not look better. So I think we'll be going anyway. People of the Bookworm Palace, this year is getting to old bookie, but hopefully what started so rough will hopefully end well. I'm trying to find something positive to cling to. Anyway, let's continue with the story of Archie Harrison Mountbatten Windsor and Lilibet Diana Mountbatten Windsor. Last time I said we'll talk about traveling if you are a pregnant royal and about royal doctors and so on and so on. Because only by understanding the protocols, etc., can those who are not British or not schooled in the British royals truly understand why some of us are insisting that there's something very strange about Meghan's supposed pregnancy. Okay, so let's start with average Joes like you and me. So different airlines have different rules and protocols when it comes to pregnant women. Most airlines allow pregnant women to fly domestically up to 36 weeks gestation, but international travel is often restricted to earlier weeks. I know one of our local airlines, if you travel overseas, then 28 weeks is your limit. Some airlines will even require a medical certificate signed by a doctor for travel after a certain period, because flying while pregnant is not without risk. Long periods of sitting can increase the risk of blood clots. Flying, particularly long distance, is hardly ever without a measure of stress, and so on and so on. Okay, so when it comes to royals, particularly the first 6 to 10 in the line of succession, the monarchy as an institution is even stricter than any airline. If a member of the British royal family is expecting a child, they must clearly limit their travels and must avoid traveling internationally. How many times did Diana travel internationally when she was pregnant with William? Well, 0. Not at all. How many times did Catherine travel overseas while pregnant with George? None. Nothing at all. There's no documented instances of her taking an international trip while pregnant with George. What I will discuss later on is I think she took a trip when she was pregnant either with Charlotte or with Louis, 3 hours to Malta, I think. But anyway, we'll get to that. Now, why is this? Why is this a sort of official, unofficial rule? Well, privacy concerns and health concerns mainly. When Louis' birth was announced, Catherine was supposed to join William in formally opening a £21 million study centre at Oxford University, which is not even international, but did not attend due to morning sickness. She did, however, attend, yes, I was right, pre-scheduled event in Malta, I think halfway through her pregnancy with Louis, in any case. But morning sickness or not, long-distance travel and overseas travel is severely restricted for pregnant royals, particularly if they or their husbands are among the top 10. So please tell me why this was not done with Meghan Markle. I'm sure she was aware of the risk of flying, particularly in the early stages of pregnancy. I'm sure she was advised and given the option not to go to Australia at 15 weeks. She chose to go. A 14-day tour with many long hours in the air. The tour did not only take them to Australia, but also to New Zealand, Tonga and Fiji. And remember, she also flew to Morocco shortly after returning from New York City, where she had her baby shower at about 7 months. Now, although traveling and flying cannot always be prevented for a royal, Meghan was already, as I said, just past 7 months, but looked like 10 months while in Morocco. This trip to Morocco was also a very strange one, and even mainstream media thought so. Overseas royal visits like this one is usually planned a month or two or even much longer in advance. This one was, however, announced just under 2 weeks before Harry and Meghan took off on the trip. Even mainstream media asked, why now and why this couple? Strange, and even stranger considering that Meghan's pregnancy was considered her first. Yes, I mean, if you believe that, I have a bridge to sell you. Also strange considering that according to the medical world, it was supposedly a geriatric pregnancy. Okay, moving on. We've spoken about royal pregnancies before, and many, many moons ago, women could have lost their head if they could not provide an heir to the throne. Also, there was a lot more talk about bloodlines and so forth. So babies were obtained one way or the other. So in order to protect the bloodline, it was customary to have government officials there to witness the birth. That is, in short and simple terms. But since royal women started going to hospital to have their babies, where an entire medical team took care of them to ensure the safe delivery of the babies, it was no longer considered necessary for government officials to witness the birth because the attending doctors were usually known to the royals and trusted, and their signatures were deemed enough proof of a live birth from the loins of the wife of a prince. Then came Meghan Markle, who insisted that she would choose her own doctors and did not need the palace's grey suits. Well, straight off, she should have been told no. The protocol should have been explained to her, and she should have been told no titles if not approved doctors. Finish, end of. But anyway, let's have a quick look at the so-called grey suits whom Meghan scoffed at. Catherine's one doctor, the best known one, I don't know, I don't think he was the leading doctor on the team, but in any event, because during the delivery of George was Alan Farthing, a consultant at St. Mary's. He was also the official surgeon gynecologist to Queen Elizabeth and the royal household. He was assisted by Marcus Setchell, who was the Queen's doctor from 1990 to 2008. He delivered both Lady Louise and her brother James. He was also Sophie's doctor during her ectopic pregnancy in 2001 and was also the doctor who did Camilla's hysterectomy. Farthing, however, was most likely the best known between the doctors because he's also a specialist in gynecological cancer care, and he was also the fiance of BBC anchorwoman Jill Dando when she was shot on her doorstep in 1999. Communication between, say, Catherine, Dr. Farthing, the palace, and the head of the hospital took place per palace-issued encrypted phones. Talk about privacy. Everything Meghan wanted and would have gotten had she not been sly and sneaky and more clever than anyone else, or then had really been pregnant. Actually, had Meghan been an honest, open person with a real pregnancy, she would not only have had these two men, but an entire group of 23 professionals ready for everything and anything. 23 people at her beck and call. 2 obstetricians, 3 midwives, 3 anesthesiologists, 4 theatre staff, 2 special care baby unit staff, 4 pediatricians, 1 lab technician, and 3 to 4 hospital managers. However, it appears that Meghan chose FedEx to deliver her baby. Well, it could just as well have been FedEx or an unknown FedEx delivery driver, because 6 years on and we still don't know who delivered Archie. But we can almost name every person in Catherine's medical team when she delivered Charlotte. There was Guy Thorpe Beeston, Alan Farthing, Marcus Setchell, Professor Tang G. Teo, Dr. Johanna Bray, etc., etc. Meghan Markle had no legitimate reason not to use royally approved doctors and specialists. Many of them, the original team who delivered George and Charlotte, are now retired, but the so-called royal doctors are indeed the best of the best. They'd been chosen for a reason, and the reason is usually because they've done something exceptional, or they are just hugely talented and exceptional people. Why did Meghan, the D-list actress from Suits, choose not to use the best of the best when carrying supposedly the 6 in line to the throne? Did she not heed all the warnings about long-distance travel, etc.? Why? Could it be because inside that bump was either just stuffing or silicone? I think it is time the king makes it official and tells the truth, because we will continue digging and asking questions, and the longer it takes, the worse it looks for the reigning monarch. Okay guys, down in the description box are links to more of my old videos on Archie and Lily. If, like me, you are studying the mystery, it may be a good idea to go through these videos. I mean, maybe I've missed something. Maybe the answer is indeed right under our noses. Okay people, please take good care of yourselves until we meet again on the next one. Bye.